Hi guys, welcome back to Baja Talks Books, or Baja Books. I keep saying Baja Talks Books. That's what it is at this point. We've got chapter 32 through 37. These are pretty short chapters, so I think we can get through them pretty fast. We're like over halfway done with the book. I think we're like 3/4 of the way through at this point.
Yeah.
As you can tell.
Finally.
As you can tell, my voice is kind of gone right now, so this will probably be a little... Oh boy, he's cooking. I don't know what he's cooking, but he's cooking.
That was Owen. It's
Or
both
Owen.
right now. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Owen has the deeper voice, and Ethan is the screaming.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds about right. Yeah, but we're back, and we're better than ever. We're sexy as hell over here.
Mm-hmm.
Sexier than ever. My voice is amazing right now. It sounds like I'm talking through my nose. But also, like, if I was the shark from Finding Nemo, who also kind of talks like this, but, like, mixed with the cuteness of one of the puppies from Paw Patrol. Not the ones you'd, like, drop kick across the street because they're, like, frustrating and annoying because they never save the kids the right way. But it's, like, a mix of that with, like, you know, the shark in Jaws, like, all his best lines. It's like a mix of that.
I love his lines like,
I don't think sharks don't go, What kind of sharks are you listening to, bro? What is
he doesn't
that?
have any lines. I was going along with the joke. What did you want me to say?
Well, you should have just said nothing then. You should have been like lines like, and that would be true. You added like a into it. We got a fake shark enjoyer over here.
Yeah,
I'll have you know, when I was 9, I was watching Shark Attack videos. Yeah. I know exactly what sharks sound like.
I'm like an 8th shark, so it's actually kind of insensitive for you to say that.
You know, well, I'm like half shark.
Oh,
so,
my bad.
And if you were 8th shark and you'd been born in shark waters, then you would know that shark culture runs deep in these streets. You're probably mixed with manta, huh?
Dang,
you filthy flipper.
Flipper?
You bluefin.
Sharks also bluefin?
All these tunas have been migrating over to our place recently. It's crazy.
Bro lives south side of the reef, bro.
The south side of the reef. Bro, this is just Shark Tale, but with like The Godfather mixed in. Which do you think is a better movie, Shark Tale or The Godfather?
Bro, let's watch them back to back and
we should watch them right now and have everyone listen to it so they can also get on this.
Oh, not even watch them back to back. We just overlay them on top of each other and watch at the same time.
Yeah, 50% opacity. Like it scrolls up and down, so like it varies in opacity over the course.
I was thinking like TikTok shorts. When you get bored of one, like you have the other one in the bottom. It's like, and then Subway Surfers gameplay running along the sides.
And then also just intermittent dodgeball noises for 10 hours.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, segueing into the book, there aren't any sharks, there's not really any good segues.
Yeah.
So,
which is really sad. I really wish that there were just sharks in this.
That the sharks in this would be kind of crazy.
Like, what are we going to do about these Elantrians? And also, there's a shark.
Honestly, I think most books would become markedly better if there were just sharks.
Like, it doesn't get explained or elaborated on why there are sharks, but
there just are sharks.
Yeah.
You're reading Fight Club, and then midway through there are sharks. Pride and Prejudice, honestly, and then halfway through, someone gets eaten by a shark.
Honestly, if there's just randomly a shark halfway through Fight Club, I don't even think that would be that weird. I think that would be like fun for him.
Honestly, yeah.
Fight Club does a lot of interesting stuff.
I feel like if I was reading like Little Woman, halfway through one of them got eaten by a shark.
Yeah.
Or like you're trying to get through like To Kill a Mockingbird, and then it's just a shark instead.
Yeah,
you're
our
like,
dad
what?
shot the dog, and the dog died, and then there was a shark
that ate the dad.
Yeah, and it was really sad when the shark ate our dad, and now we're in CPS.
Yeah, you're trying to read like Wuthering Heights or something, and the teacher's like, "Don't worry, it gets better when the shark shows up," and you're like, "What? What are you talking about? What do you mean when the shark shows up?"
Yeah.
Yeah. I like when you're reading Jaws and
the shark
wait a second.
hold on, Jaws is good. That means that we're right.
I've played these games before.
What if there was a second shark? And what if they were like kissing?
Oh, I thought you were going to say, what if there was a second shark and it hit the second reef?
What if there was a second shark hitting the tower?
No, the reef. That's... Okay. Why would the shark be hitting the tower, bruh? What?
Todd, what if you're watching a 9/11 documentary?
Oh, that would make 9/11 better. If you turn on the footage and there was a
like,
shark hitting the tower.
Dude.
Just like the survivor confessionals, like talking
I feel
about
like
it,
a really
then
badly
all of a sudden,
timed
shark.
I feel like that would be possible if there had been a really badly timed Macy's Day Parade. Like really badly timed.
Mm-hmm.
Like a month or something earlier.
Mm-hmm. And then
This
the
is-
shark shows up.
This is the kind of conversation and reflection our viewers tune in for.
Not the book. This.
Yeah, sharks and 9/11 and the concept of cheating.
Indeed.
And things like Himalayan snow cones and Yeti cars. That's a deep cut. Those who know, those who know.
Yeah, not me.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you wouldn't get it. You aren't goated like that.
That's true.
Race cars don't need headlights because the track is always lit. Ugh, fire. That's such a bar. For what? For what?
Dude, I don't even
Yo,
know.
You know, that line's from Cars. That's why it's
Which one?
the first one.
Oh, I don't remember that.
the one where he flashes his nipple. That one.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I do remember that. Also, it wasn't a dude. It was the two little...
Yeah.
I mean, they kind of
Yeah,
look
but
like...
he also flashes his fake headlight.
He's probably talking about the book.
Yeah, chapter 32. This is peak. We learn about Serene's fashion choices. Honestly, this whole like first section of her chapter is just like more of her complaining. Like she's like, why in the blessed name of Domi does everyone in this country feel so threatened by an assertive woman?
Does she actually say that?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it's a cringe thing to say, but, like, she is correct, because, like, everyone's an idiot, or they hate her. Like those are the only two characters in this book.
Yeah, I mean, like, it makes sense, but also, like,
It's just...
It makes sense in the context of this, but it's not realistic to how it would have actually been in real life.
yeah, and there's another part later on that I'll touch on, but, yeah, and then there's, like, a whole thing about Royales. They're on their way to, like, a party, and he's talking to her about, like, oh, well, you got to stop moping. You like showed up here and took over and started making us do stuff. You can't just like wiggle out now that your like thing fell apart. And she's like, dang, you right. All right, fine. And then he's like totally glazing her, bro. He's like, Shooting and Ian Dell all but worship you. Luca and Keen stand by your stone like two unmoving stones. I can barely unravel your delicate schemes. Blah, blah, blah. Bro he's absolutely bouncing on it. And they're kind of talking about how, like, I mean, they got what they wanted. Like, the Gioran is neutralized and Idon's been more or less, like, pushed to the side, so it's chill, but... Bro's yelling.
Yeah.
And then
she also talks about how, like, all their issues are fine now. Like, everything's kind of been solved. But then the dude's like, oh, yes, but what about D-Law?
D-Lof, my goat.
He's a little creature. I do not trust that man.
Yeah, they don't really trust D-Lof. I mean, that's like the smartest thing anybody said the entire book.
Yeah,
Like,
honestly.
probably don't trust D-Lof.
Yeah, maybe don't trust the guy who's trying to, like, incite riots. Like, maybe he's a bad influence for him.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of a bad influence. And then they pull up and they're checking out, like, who's at the party, blah, blah, blah. And we get some lines about Serene is, like, telling her Sion to, like, check and make sure the king doesn't leave. Which, bum, what could the king be doing? And I like how Royale is like, what are you asking that to do that for? And Serene's like, nothing. Royale's like, oh, you got like a plan. She's like, this is the one time I don't have a plan, bro. Calm down. And I hate this line. The problem with being clever, Serene thought with a sigh, is that everyone assumes you're always planning something. You're just blowing smoke up your own butt cheeks, bro. Come on.
Yeah, this really is the whole. I am smart and everyone else is dumb.
Like, come on.
Serene, the only smart woman.
It really just screams like, man, you guys are so dumb. Like, I'm so smart.
I'm not like other girls. I have basic intelligence.
And then, yeah, she tells him to go check on the king, and Ash floats away. And it's like, at this point, they're kind of trying to make it clear. They're like, oh, it's like, let's watch the king because something's going to happen. There's just a bunch of stuff about like Serene kind of going into the self-pity thing. We learn about this boy named Grayo. Grio, whatever. And this section again doesn't make me feel bad for Serene at all. Like, it doesn't. It's not that it doesn't make me feel bad, but it's like the way it's written is just weird. Like, she knew she intimidated the court's men, so for a short while she'd forced herself to adopt a more subservient, docile temperament. And then this guy named Grayo comes along, he takes a chance, and the union had not been one of love, but she liked Grayo despite his weak will. There'd been a kind of childish hesitancy about him. Blah, blah, blah. Basically, she just calls this kid stupid over and over again. She'd broken off the engagement not because she knew living with a dull-minded Grayo would have driven her mad, but because she was being unfair. She's taking advantage of his simple ingenuousness. And it's just like, why?
I'm sorry, I can't date you. Not because you're stupid, but because I'm too smart.
I'm just taking advantage of you because I'm just too smart.
I'm just so much smarter than you.
And it's just like I don't feel bad for her at this point. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Also, that's like this situation just wouldn't happen. Like, oh no, she's too smart. That's unattractive. Like that doesn't usually happen.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you could say like, oh, and that like.
I like to imagine she's like really annoying. She kind of has like that Reddit personality. Because it's from her perspective, we don't really, no, it's not from her perspective.
No, everybody else is like, oh my gosh, you're so smart and beautiful and
but
gorgeous.
Like, oh my gosh, she's so fucking annoying.
Yeah, it does kind of give Redditor syndrome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everyone's like, wow, you're so smart. But on the inside, they're like, shut up. I don't care.
Yeah, and she's thinking all about this while she's looking at all these happy couples and
that
Royale.
Could never be me. I'm too smart, like Rick Sanchez.
Like, she would watch Rick and Morty 100%.
Watching Rick and Morty is not bad. The being
she would think the Pickle Rick episode was the funniest shit ever. She would laugh and have like spit and like chunks of like mashed potatoes flying out of her mouth.
Yeah. That was oddly specific.
Weirdly specific, yeah.
I don't know. I can just imagine her.
Like, I can see that though.
I don't know, just like chunks of food flying out of her mouth when she laughs. I just see it. I don't know.
You are painting a picture, my boy.
Yeah, just as she's watching Rick and Morty, like everyone's kind of chuckling, but she is just like absolutely dying. Constantly.
Yeah, she's doing Rafflecopter, bro.
She would definitely vote for Vat of Acid over The View from Halfway Down.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a deep cut. BoJack Horseman is so goated.
Oh, I do like BoJack Horseman. It's been a while since I watched it, though.
BoJack Horseman is so fucking peak.
Yeah.
Didn't you recently watch BoJack Horseman?
Yeah, I'm rewatching it right now.
Oh,
I'm on season 2. I just watched the episode with the
clowns?
the game show.
Oh yeah,
Hollywood stars. What do they know?
What do they know? Do they know anything?
Let's find out.
Wait, did you already watch the clown episode then? Which one's
that's
that?
like one of the. I think that's like season 5.
Oh damn, that one's my favorite episode. I like cried laughing watching that one for some reason. It was so funny.
One of my favorite lines from recently is like when Todd becomes Mr. Peanut Butter's driver and he's like, "Can you believe this weather we're having?" No, I cannot believe this weather we're having.
Oh my gosh, it's such a good show. Yeah, and then so she's moping around and Royale drops this absolute banger line. You look as if your best friend died. And she drops another banger. No, just my husband. Dang. It's like that. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, if I had like a dead spouse, I would play that card all the time.
Oh yeah, no, 100%.
Like you were like.
They're
30
like, they'll be
minutes late for work.
3:45, and I'm like, my wife died, and they're like, sir, this is a McDonald's drive-through.
You were like half an hour late for work. Sorry, my wife just died.
You said that yesterday.
Yeah, you've been.
Well,
saying
they
that
brought
for,
her
like,
back to
the last
life.
month. Like,
They keep bringing her back to life, and
she
she's like,
keeps dying. You know, like it's a real roller coaster.
first it was physically, then it was mentally, then it was like an emotional thing, then it was like spiritually,
like
yeah. So she's just kind of complaining about like stable relationships and being bitter, and then they know that Telry is going off and doing his own king's party, which isn't a good sign because if he's basically pretending he's the king, then you get dissent and all that. Somebody gets dumped into the lake. Apparently they got drunk and just like fell in there, which it appears the wine proved too much for him. The Sion comes over and is like, yo, your guest just dumped into the lake, which I think that's pretty funny.
Yeah, it'd be really funny if they dumped into the lake and then they just disintegrated like the Elantris.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, that hasn't happened before.
And then I like how the Aeon's name is, or the Sion's name, also the Aeon's name, because they're named after the Aeon, but his name is Opa. Opa. I immediately thought that when I saw that. And then we get like a funny little interaction with Ahan, where they're talking to him, and he's like, oh, I didn't realize like you knew how to throw a party. And he's like, oh, Ahan, we should have known we'd find you near the food, you big body. And then he's kind of talking to him, and Ahan started making points at Serene. And he's like, just look at my poor wife. She refuses to eat. His wife is like fruit on a plate. And he's like, oh, I wouldn't have let you do this fencing thing if I knew it would ruin my wife's figure. And Serene's like, bro, what? And he's like, to us, round is beautiful. Not everyone wants their woman to look like starving schoolboys. It's like, okay, this is kind of, it's just kind of weird. Mm-hmm. Like, I like how he realizes right after that, he's like, oh, no offense intended. And Serena's like, really? Like, right at me? Really? Like, come on, bro. Yeah, Duke Royale comes to the rescue, and he's like, oh, by the way, tell your caravan to hurry. And Ahan's like, wait, hold on, what caravan? And then the Duke basically just gets the upper hand on him by, like, ordering early shipments of, like, sour melons, whatever the heck those are. Are those an actual thing? I don't think they're an actual thing.
I'm not going to bother looking it up.
That's so real. And then, yeah, Ahan's like, how in the name of Domi did you manage that? And Royale's like, oh, my boy Lucal over here, he got me. And Ahan's like, oh, you got me again, Royale. But just watch. One of these days, I'm going to get the better of you. He does like his whole...
One of these days, I'm going to push you into the lake that kills you.
He does like his 90s villain of the week monologue. He's like, one of these days, I'll get you. If it wasn't for you meddling kids.
Mm-hmm. And your little dog, too.
I don't think any of them ever said that.
Dog, it's a quote from Wizard of Oz.
Which one?
I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog, too.
Which one? The one where they got, like, lead poisoning from the paint and stuff?
Yes. You know, the Wizard of Oz.
No, I haven't seen that one.
There's multiple Wizard of Oz's.
Right? Yeah,
yes, but they're all adaptations of the book.
There's multiple books, is what I mean.
There
are multiple books?
Yeah, there's like 6.
Dang, okay.
They're pretty good.
The one where it was really terrible behind the scenes and people got poisoning?
That's a movie. That didn't happen. That didn't happen for the book, bro.
You were asking what movie earlier.
Well, yeah, but then, like, Patrick was like, the book, and you were like, yeah. And I was like, oh, you're talking about the book. You think people got, like, lead paint poisoning behind the scenes of the book? Like, as they were working on the...
You weren't there.
I mean, that's true. Maybe... you have to have been huffing, like, something to come up with that.
That's what the Wicked Witch of the West says. She says, I'll get you my pretty and your little dog, too.
And then she got set on fire and got, like, actual burns.
Yeah.
Which is pretty funny when you think about it.
Oh.
Other than the fact that I'm pretty sure she also didn't get paid. Or, like, her hospital bills didn't get paid or something.
Yeah, that's true.
Somebody didn't get paid.
Yeah, I mean, she was paid for her work, but then she was, like in the hospital for multiple days, and she was not paid for that.
To be fair, like, why would you stand on top of the fire, bro? Like,
They're just like, whoops,
that's on
skill
you.
issue. Don't get burned, bro.
Like, literally, just don't get hurt.
Don't get set on fire, stupid.
Yeah, and then I didn't get that reference, so we had to take a little detour. But I have not seen that movie.
You've never seen The Wizard of Oz?
No. I don't enjoy supporting projects like you that have to do with endangering their actors.
Yeah.
Unlike you, I only watch ethically sound movies and shows, which is also why, unlike you, did you watch Mulan? The new Mulan?
No. Dog, I hate Disney live action remakes.
He did listen to it. He watched it. He's lying. I like when they filmed on a concentration camp. That was really funny.
Oh, I didn't hear about that part.
And then, yeah, they're just kind of arguing. Then Ash comes back and is like, "Oh, the king left the party." She's like, "Wait, hold up. We're going on a little mission." It's a real Scooby-Doo moment, like you're in the middle of doing something.
Off on a tangent too?
Scooby-Doo this shit.
Greatest line Marvel ever produced. I'm not gonna lie. Greatest line ever in all of superhero fiction.
Dog, we can't get off on another tangent. We just finished getting off on tangents.
Well, I'm never finished getting off. There's always another time to get off. And then I like this section. They start chasing down the king. He's taken off. And, I mean, Serene's just, for someone who thinks she's so smart, she's just undeniably stupid in this. She runs after him alone. For some reason, doesn't tell anybody. Her Sion is like, yo, we should get some people, because they reached, like, the sewers, and she's about to go in them, and he's like, we should get some people, we should get some help. And she's just, like, the stupidest person ever all of a sudden, and apparently she hasn't seen many horror movies, because she's like, no, I'll just go in there and, like, I'll do it, don't worry, like, I have you, and the tracks will be fresh. We should follow them into the dimly lit sewers, alone. Me and my freakishly big feet, or whatever her problem with herself is. I don't think.
She's really tall.
I
mean, she could also.
I mean, yeah, she would also have big feet if she's tall, probably.
Go hand in hand.
Yeah, they kind of happen together, and I like how she like tells her Sion to just leave, and which, okay, you're just so stupid. Come on.
Just in case something bad happens, so I won't be able to call for help.
I think she feels like because she's a white person, she can like walk anywhere she wants without harm.
This land belongs to me now.
This land belongs to me now. And I like it. She's like kind of bluffing to Ash about how scared she is and stuff, but as soon as she walks in, she's like, "Oh, this is a bad idea. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this." And then she's like running through the sewers and stuff and running through all the muck. And there's all this weird gunk coming up to her ankles, and it's stinky and gross. I'm surprised they even have sewers, honestly. Like, this is, like, medieval time. I guess, like, the Romans and stuff had sewers, so it makes sense.
Yeah, they had sewers back then.
I never really think about it as, like, underground human-sized tunnels, though. Like, I always just kind of thought about it as, like, small ones. I don't know. But maybe my historical grasp of sewers just isn't that great. I confess I haven't studied the topic deeply. Finally, she decides to tell, like, oh, this is the other thing that annoyed me. She doesn't tell Ash why they're going in there, like why they're following the king or why they're running away alone into dark sewers. And eventually she tells him, like, okay, well, what day of the week it is. And he's like, oh, Maydol, right? Well, it happens every week on Maydol. And I like how Ash is like, your father plays Shinda with Lord Eoden, which is, I don't know what Shinda is, but apparently her dad plays that with Lord Eoden. She's like, no, every night on Maydol at 11 o'clock, you're scrapings in the passage that run through my wall, the one that leads to the king's rooms. Noises in the passage on this one day, always at this time, obviously secret happenings. The king has to come to the party because the king can't just not show up to a party by like one of the richest people in his kingdom, but he'll try and get away as soon as possible. This is actually a pretty good plan.
Yeah, this was like one of the times where it's like, okay, her thought process actually makes sense. Is it was actually kind of clever.
Yeah, like getting Royale to throw it on like the exact night and stuff too. Like this is the one time Serene is actually like smart.
That the actions that she do make sense and are
The
also
actions
a good
that she
idea.
do. The actions that she do,
Yeah,
bro.
the action that she do.
The action that she do in
Sounds-
her panties.
Sounds like a like Jamaican song. The action that she do with a big bamboo cry. Bong 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 bong
Because
bong
normally she'll
bong
do
bong.
things where it's like, wow, that's really cool that she did that. There's no reason why she would have done that. Like her
Yeah.
natural thought process would not have been this. But
Yeah.
this is the case where, yeah, it does actually make sense.
Or like something random will happen where everything lines up.
Yeah,
And she's like,
everything
oh, I'm so
perfectly
smart.
lines up.
That was all me. Guys,
That
I'm
was
so
all me,
cool.
all according to plan.
No, but this is actually like a really good plan that works really well.
Yeah.
And then, she immediately just gets stupid though and follows the king to dark sewers. And Ash is like, what good could the king be doing? You know, the sewers at midnight. Have you never seen a serial killer documentary? Apparently she hasn't. I mean,
Well, yeah.
I know she hasn't because they don't have TVs and stuff.
Yeah.
But like,
But like,
she's
if
never
they
heard
did,
of serial killers or something. And then she's like,
They don't
that's
have cereal, Baird.
that's a great point. Well, you don't know that.
That's
Oatmeal.
true. I don't actually know that.
Oatmeal. Dude, Captain Crunch has led everyone to
It
places.
is still so, like, upsetting to me in a weird way that oatmeal is called hot cereal. And it's like, no.
Well, it can be.
Yeah, it's called hot cereal.
Well, it depends if you make it hot or not.
Dog, why are you having cold oatmeal?
Some people have cold
Yeah.
oatmeal.
Because you can do overnight oats in the fridge and stuff.
Yeah.
It's pretty good, actually.
Yeah. Anyway.
I always forget
it annoys
Multi-Meals
me.
in that category
Because
also.
I love
Whenever
multi-meal.
anyone-
Multi-Meal is so
Especially
fire.
with some brown sugar, bro.
It's like, especially if you got like
Yum.
old people, they'll be like, "Oh, you want some cereal?" And you're like, "Yeah, sure." And then they give you a bowl of oatmeal, and you're like, "Dog, this is not what I wanted." Like,
Oh,
you
I
asked-
don't know. Usually
you
I'm
asked
like,
me if I
yo, this
wanted
is healthy.
cereal.
They're watching out for my heart health.
It's like, dog. I was like, I wonder what cereal. Like Captain Crunch, perhaps. Wow, oats. Yay.
Honestly, I used to hate oatmeal. Now I love it.
I mean, I like oatmeal, but when I'm expecting cereal, I would like cereal, not oatmeal.
I know I don't really eat cereal much anymore, honestly. It's just so much sugar, gets stuck in my teeth. Half the time it just like doesn't even taste that good.
Yeah,
like a
most of it
skill
doesn't taste that good anymore. And a lot of it scratches up my mouth too. Like
Yeah.
especially Captain Crunch.
Oh, it just sounds like you're weak.
Or like I'll get like partway through a bowl and I'll be like reading or something at the same time. Then like the other half of the bowl is just like soggy and gross, and I'm just like, I don't want to eat this. The texture is nasty.
You know, these all sound like personal problems.
I don't
Have
think
nothing to
so.
do with cereal.
I don't think you know anything about cereal.
You aren't a real serial killer like we are.
Yeah, just a group of serial connoisseurs, and they call themselves serial killers.
They're
And
the
they get
serial
investigated
boys.
by the FBI.
Yeah. But yeah, apparently Serene has no idea serial killers are a thing. 'Cause she just follows the king down, and she like I like how she just comically falls. Like the floor declines slightly at the intersection, so she slips and like comically waves her arms to like stabilize herself. Yeah, and then she does like a whole, oh, this is gonna hurt, right into the middle of the intersection. And she looks up slowly, and King Idon stares back. Bum, bum, bum.
"What are you doing in my swamp?"
And she's like, merciful Domi. And I like this part a lot. The king stood facing her behind an altar, a red streaked knife raised in his hand, completely naked except for blood smearing his chest, the remains of an eviscerated young woman tied to the altar, her torso slit open from neck to crotch. Like, it just turns into a horror movie all of a sudden. Like, just out of nowhere, you're like, where did this come from? And apparently this dude is just, like, absolutely insane. Serene turns around and notices, like, a dozen black robe forms standing there with ruins and stuff sewn in their clothes. This is kind of metal. Why do cults always have, like, the most fire clothing, bro?
Yeah, well, because if they gotta wear a uniform, it's gotta be a cool uniform.
Exactly.
Like, no one's gonna be like, "Oh wow, I can't wait to join this cult." Oh, that's what we're wearing? No, I'm good. Like, you know, it's gotta be cool.
Because, like, if you show up to the cult meeting and the fits aren't fire, what are you doing, bro?
Like, I'm gonna pay $100 and this fit ain't even cool? Ain't no way.
I show up expecting to, like, summon some demons. How am I supposed to do that if I'm not feeling myself, you know?
Mm-hmm. I gotta feel like I'm really cool before I can summon monsters.
Like, the whole point of cults is, like, money and fame and wealth and power and something, or I don't know.
I like to imagine they got robes and like they're pretty normal robes and they just got Jordans on underneath.
Hey, yeah, they got the Jordans on.
Everyone has to wear Jordans.
Bro,
Doesn't matter which ones. No, as long as they're Jordans, it's fine.
Bro, I just summoned the new Beelzebub 6s. These are fire, bro. Oh,
no.
Bro, I got the Satan 7s, bro. They're too fire. The insole's crazy, bro. You seen the paint job on that thing?
Your insole damns you for all eternity.
I always wonder, like, who's making the robes? Like, you show up at Sears and you're like, yes, I'd like 6 white robes.
I'd like 6 white robes, all in the same size.
And the cashier's like,
wow, that's like 30 this month, huh? Yeah.
Who do the young people pick as their leader? Envy a young boy. Yeah, so she starts screaming, and Eondel shows up. Bro's just the MVP of everything, and just starts slicing off people's arms and stuff. And a bunch of Eondel's legion show up, and for some reason, Deloff is there. And I like how it says he didn't join the fighting, but he stood to the side with a fascinated look on his face. Bro's like, this is interesting. This is a little cult. People are dying. Ooh, I like this. Bro's actually just a serial killer. I'm pretty sure that's one of the like main points for being a serial killer, right? Is just like
killing someone. That's generally what serial killers do.
Oh no, he's not killing anyone. He's watching the people get killed with like a fascinated look on his face.
He's a serial killer cuckold. That's what you're saying.
Exactly. Yeah, and then Royal shows up and is like, maybe next time, tell me what you're planning, princess. And Serene's like, I like how she's like, gives Ash an accusatory look. She's like, you told him? And he's like, bro, you would have died otherwise. Like, come on.
You actually would have died.
You actually would. You'd be like,
weapons. You're walking around the sewers at night.
And he's just like, right, you see that lady over there that's like split from head to butt? That he like chopped open with a knife? That would have been you, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Also, yeah, she's just like stupid all of a sudden, and then
even when she's stupid, she's still the smartest person, which is kind of concerning just for everyone else's intelligence.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of concerning anyway. Even when she is smart, so, like that's still the smartest. That's still like the highest threshold possible.
But she's like a kid who got held back, but then kind of got ahead of the rest of the kids. You know? Like. So she's smarter, but like not really.
You know what? I realized her father, the king, he reminds me of the dad from Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
What? You want to elaborate on that one, buddy?
No, I don't think I will.
That's fair.
You don't see that?
No, I can see it. I just don't get why.
Well, if you can see it, then you should get why.
No.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to elaborate.
That's
so,
to be fair, we already have enough tangents. Like we're an hour in and we're still on the...
That's a tangent. We're not going off on that. Yeah, and so Ash is just kind of telling her, like, yo, if you ran off, I called his Sion, told him we were pursuing the king, and she's just being so stupid, and she's like, Ash, how could you? Like, I can't believe you told him, blah, blah, and she's like, bro, you literally would have died. They would have split you open. Nobody would have found you. And they almost didn't find her until Eondel heard her screaming. So she's like really lucky that any of that went right for her. Mm-hmm. And then Rao's like, oh yeah, this is gonna have to like, or he says, yeah. Apparently the king got mixed up with the Jesker mysteries, which we've heard a couple things about before, but I don't think we heard that you like sacrificed people. And apparently, the mysteries sometimes involve sacrifices. Idon must have wanted something real badly. And I like how they say, our Dorothi friend claims to have some knowledge on the subject. So Deloff knows about all this. So that's who they're referring to.
Human sacrifice? I approve.
I like how he knows what the sacrifice is for, too. They're like, oh, he seemed to think the king was petitioning the Jester spirits to destroy someone for him. D-Laf just knows all of this. Nobody's questioning this.
Yeah.
Nobody's questioning why the guy just walked in and was like, interesting. Well, all these cultists are dying. Then he's like, I know exactly what this is about, guys. I haven't figured out.
About. I mean, I didn't know this was going to happen, but I know exactly what's happened.
Yeah, like, he somehow, or at the very least, you should be like, okay, well, how does he know this stuff? Mm-hmm. Like, what is this dude seeing? Isn't he supposed to be like a priest or something? Yeah, and then...
Oh, you see, I actually made a contract with the devil, so he gives me visions.
And, yeah, apparently the instructions to, like, kill her were written on the altar in the woman's blood. That's what's been happening to the maids and cooks who have been disappearing. And Serene, once again, gets smart for a second. She's like, wait a second. Where did that Dorothi priest come from anyway? And Rael's like, oh, I don't know. He just kind of showed up. Ahan walks in. He's like, Ragdomi. Which I just think that's a funny slur. Or not slur, but like epithet.
We could make it a slur.
We could make it a slur.
We just have to decide what group it's for, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, they decide they're going to have to do damage control, and that's the end of chapter 32. All right, jumping into chapter 33 with Hrathen. Yeah, so chapter 33, Hrathen, like, wakes up out of his stupor thingy, his Elantrian drug-induced thingamabob where he transformed, and he's like, whoa, what the heck? Look at the moon, bro.
He's actually a woman now. He goes by Rathena.
Right. What?
He said he transitioned. Or he transformed.
Gosh.
No, he's a werewolf now. That's why he's like, oh, look at the moon.
That's actually badass, though.
That is, though.
Trained to a werewolf?
Yeah, he's like a weird thing about the moon, and then he's like, why can't... I like how he just calls them primitive. He's like, yeah, they're so primitive. They're old caveman. And he's like, I can see why they worship the moon, but like, shouldn't I be like this for my own god? And he's like, you know what? Nah, I can't do like the stupid people stuff. I have to be logical and use facts and logic. He turns into Ben Shapiro. No.
Hypothetically, what if the Elantrians made up 13% of the population?
Oh, nah, bro.
Yeah. I must destroy these Elantrians with facts and logic.
Yeah, and so he kind of has his, like, not really come to God moment, but, like, his, okay, this is how I'm going to, like, worship. Yeah, he says, it is not what Hrathen had been hoping for, but it was an answer, and he found comfort and strength within it. He was not a zealot. He would never be a man of extreme passion. In the end, he followed Dorothi because it made sense. That would have to be enough. Which I feel like that's still a pretty, like, backwards way of going about, like, something like that. But
like, I'm a super high-ranking member as part of this religion. I mean, it's all right, I guess. I'm not, like, super into it. Like,
but, like, it makes sense, I guess.
Like, I don't know. It's fine. Like,
yeah. It is kind of weird that he just, like he was having such a crisis earlier about it because he's like, oh, I can't, like, feel anything towards it, but it makes sense. That's not how it's supposed to be. You know, he's just like, all right, yeah, I guess that's how it's going to be forever. Whatever.
Yeah, like, he got over that pretty quick.
Yeah. I like how they say he devoured it all. Flaccid vegetables, moldy. Like, they keep calling the vegetables flaccid, bro. They cannot be like...
This book makes me flaccid, bro.
That's real. And then he drinks the entire thing of wine. He's just like me. And then he's like, oh, I'm so thankful to Jadith. So I got to go back and pray now. And then he goes back to praying again, and that's the end of chapter 3. Hrathen has really short chapters. I mean, he isn't doing a lot right now. He's literally just, like, sitting there praying. So...
Right now he's just aura farming.
Literally just aura farming. Gets kicked into Hrathen is the ultimate aura farmer. He gets drugs to turn him into his enemy, gets kicked into the place where his enemy is, sits down and starts praying. A bunch of people attack him. He breaks all their necks, goes right back to praying, comes out of like a 3-day stupor, is like, dang, the moon looks kind of cool, and then goes back to praying again.
Straight aura, bro.
After chugging an entire bottle of wine.
It'd be way better though if he just drank the whole thing of wine, then immediately just passed out, like fell right onto his face.
Just got really drunk.
Yeah, he's like, wow, that was a lot stronger than I expected. Oh boy.
It's like, what did they ferment this with?
Oh dang, we'll be throwing up for the next like 5 hours.
Yeah, and then chapter 34, back to Raoden, and or at least some of Shore's men are coming up and eating the food or trying to cook it, as was his plan in the last couple of chapters. This section's kind of weird because like their minds are gone and stuff, and they're kind of like caveman wild and like bestial and stuff, and he's like, all right, well, I'm going to use them as slaves. Like, okay, buddy. He has this weird thought about, like, he had entered Sheor's territory and escaped unscathed. He had power over food. He could make it inedible for one, but succulent for another. His soldiers had repeatedly defeated them. To their simple, degenerate minds, there's only one thing to do when faced with a god more powerful than their own: convert. Which I feel like that's just, I don't know, like that doesn't make a whole lot of sense if they're actually that like brain dead. Yeah, after he throws down the food, they all come up and they just bring like the girl's head and just like toss it at his feet. The golden wig is all stained with Elantrian blood and stuff. And it's like, okay. And then they all start bowing.
It's pretty badass, honestly.
It kind of is, though. That's some aura farming right there. Bro didn't even ask for it. They just beheaded their god.
Head. Bro, imagine they just tie it to their belt and just walk around with it. Dude.
Yo, that
would
be just like Kratos, bro.
Kratos.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be kind of sick.
Like they're just like, he seems like he would want this. Yeah. Like.
Yeah, it's just kind of weird that they're just like, okay, well he gave us a bunch of corn, time to behead our god, and then I don't know, bring him the hair. He keeps just going on and on about how like these men had surrendered their intellect and they were remarkably well behaved, docile even. Like he's just trying to treat them like pets, which I get he doesn't have a lot of options, but it's still kind of weird. And they call them the Kayana. Kayana means insane or something like that. Oh yeah, they have like a big table full of books and stuff, and Raoden's been like studying Andor with a bunch of urgency because the pain is growing. It struck with such curiosity that Raoden collapsed, struggling against the agony. Now that's aura farming. Yeah. He just randomly gets seizures. It's like it's like people with epilepsy at a rave. Like, you're just aura farming, bro. We can all see the moves. Come on.
Watching my grandma seizing on the ground. Aura. Yeah, you go, grandma. Aura.
It's like, you don't gotta stunt on me like that. Like, I know you have epilepsy
Grandma,
already.
chill.
Like, come on.
Jeez,
You
grandma.
do not gotta be doing all that, bro. The song is mid. Grandma, there's no music playing. Why are you dancing?
Grandma, the light show's boring. They're just flashing the lights repeatedly. Calm down.
Yeah, so Raoden's just like having this little aura farming moment. And Galadon, I like how he doesn't tell anybody else about this until like this chapter. And so Galadon's like, I don't get why you like insist on sharing all these details with us. And Raoden's like, bro, you gotta remember this just in case something happens.
Just in case I accidentally fall into that lake that actually just kills you.
Yeah, the lake that kills you. You know the one where we dropped the body in and then I like stared into it for like 15 minutes without saying anything?
And I stared into it with lust.
And then I was like, the pain. The pain. And yeah, so he's like, if something happens to me, there has to be someone to continue my work. And Galadon's like, you're about as close to becoming the Hoed as I am to becoming a Fjordal. And Raiden's like, I hide it well. Boom, boom, boom. Bro, he has this Marvel moment.
I think it'd be really funny if like we were somehow able to go into the other people's heads and they were all just like doing so much worse than him. Like he wasn't even comparable. Like everyone was just like constantly in agony. And he's like, wow, it hurts so bad. Sometimes.
Occasionally. I mean, that is kind of how it works. Like
in reality, he's just actually being.
Like they do mention that everybody else is like constant, and his is weird. So technically, he is in less pain most of the time than everybody else. So he's just being a baby, bro.
Oh, it's so unbearable. Unlike everyone else.
They're like, bro, you're good like 80% of the time. It's just occasionally you get like spikes. Come on.
They're like, dog, calm down a little bit.
It's like somebody who gets like seasonal allergies being like, oh, I have so much worse than cancer patients. I can't believe it. You don't understand my pain. It's like girls with their periods. They just can't understand the pain of constantly having our balls full of cum all the time.
They can't understand
like,
our
they
balls.
just don't get it.
They don't understand the pain of feeling our balls chafe against our underwear.
Exactly. Like, come on.
So much worse.
Yeah, and then he's like, okay, I got something new I got to share with you guys. And they're like, oh, another modifier or something? And he's like, no, I know why Elantris is covered in slime. And they're like, what? What do you mean? Yeah, and then he just kind of points to like the Aeon Ash is like the Elantrin skin is silvery and people say it like glowed, and Galvan's like, yeah, my father like glowed a little bit. When you walk into a dark room, you can see his outline and stuff, which that's probably a pain to sleep with. You're like, I can't turn it off. My skin is glowing. I put a blanket over my head and I'm still glowing.
I can see through my eyelids.
Yeah. Your eyelids are just glowing every time you close your eyes. You go insane so fast. Imagine like going to the bathroom in the middle of the night though. Like you never need to like turn on a light. You just like walk over to the toilet. No light because you'd be glowing.
Yeah. It would also be nice because like no one would be able to sneak up on you because you'd just be like, wow, why is it getting brighter all of a sudden?
I mean, you also wouldn't be able to hide from anybody.
It's also true.
It's like if they're trying to come find you, like you're literally a walking glowing target. Though I guess if you're in a laundry and you're like basically invincible.
Cover myself in slime.
Oh yeah.
Slime Aeon, go.
Slime Aeon. Yeah, and then he's like, okay, well the door is behind that. Every Elantrin's body is connected constantly to the door, and then the same link existed between Elantris itself and the door. So the door that like gives the Elantrians their powers and stuff is also like giving the city its power somehow, like a battery. Apparently all the Elantrians just like accepted the glow as normal, and the whole city was like constantly lit up. And they were just like, yeah, that's cool. Which I think that's an actual thing. Like if it's constantly bright all the time, you do just get used to it and you can sleep through it. Mm-hmm. I don't know how that would work if like your eyelids and stuff are glowing, but yeah. And then he explains that like
do you think their piss glows as well? Like,
I was gonna ask that, but I mean that probably would just depend on what they ate. Because I don't think their skin glowing would have anything
just
to do with
like
that.
some terrible 2-sentence horror story where like the implication is that they ate another Elantrian and that's why their piss is glowing.
Their piss is glowing. That'd be a really deep cut.
I had no idea what happened to the other Elantrian, and then I saw my friend and his piss was glowing.
You should post that on there, and everybody would be like, "What?" And a couple people are like, "I got that, yeah."
The worst.
Well, it is r/bad 2-sentence horror stories. Like they're supposed to be bad.
Yeah, it's true.
And then he explains that like the slime is essentially just like fungi and mold that lived on the light, which I don't know like how that would work for the mold to like grow so fast over the entire city. Mm-hmm. But I guess that happened and the Lanterns didn't clean it off, and then when the city like died, the mold died too. Which I think they said it like, or I guess it could just be really strong mold because I don't think it regenerates, but it's just like really hard to clean.
Yeah.
It's like the entire city is basically just like covered in rotting mold, which is nice. Full zombie city with zombie inhabitants.
Yeah, it's a good thing they're immortal because like otherwise they would be dying from just
it's literally they have just black mold everywhere. They're constantly inhaling it.
It just turns out that like everyone who went in to like help out the Elantrians now is like severe lung damage for all the mold. Like they
don't have a way to check for it either because they're like medieval. So Yeah, and then they kind of go over how apparently they haven't found a single book that mentions how to make seons, which I don't think that was a question anyone was asking, but apparently you just like pass the seons down. They came from somewhere, but it doesn't mention where, and you don't make them with Aeon Door, so they just get like passed down owner to owner to anyone. Doesn't have to be someone who's noble, but because noble people and rich people don't like sharing their stuff, it doesn't get passed to some random peasant. So, and then Katara and Galadon were like, yeah, that makes sense. We definitely understood all of that, 100%. And then my Lord's spirit calls an approaching voice. And Raoden's like, I like how it says Raoden raised an eyebrow. That's what I do when somebody calls my name. I just raise an eyebrow. Hey, what do you want? Somebody's like, Baird. And I'm like,
raise his eyebrow.
He does the rock face.
I think they're the main character, bro.
Probably. He literally thinks he's the main character. And then, we get the bombshell drop of Dash from Dash. Dash. I don't know how to pronounce that, but he shows up and Raiden's like, what is it, Dash? And it's like, it's the Gjorn, my lord. He's been healed. And that's the end of chapter 34.
Aura, it's too powerful.
His aura is too powerful. Yeah, so apparently the Gjorn has been healed, bro.
Mm-hmm. Which, when I read that, I was like, dog, what? We just saw what was happening with him. What do you mean? like, is it just like, the eclipse? Oh, I'm fixed now.
Well, because he kind of woke up out of his trance and he was like, oh, the moon looks nice. And then he went back and like started praying again. So and then this chapter, I think timeline wise, I mean, I'd assume they're one after the other. So this would be happening after that.
Yeah, but it would be so stupid if it's like, yeah, the answer was just they all needed to pray. That's the solution, prayer. Like,
yeah,
really fucking that's the solution. Like,
that would be an awful twist. Yeah,
it just goes like really religious at the end, but like
just weirdly
Catholic,
so.
Like,
yeah,
like not the religions in this, just like it just goes weirdly Catholic. All of a sudden, all the characters turn towards the camera and just go.
Turns into Narnia all of a sudden, where you just gotta embrace Lion Jesus. Mm-hmm. I love how in the end of the Narnia books, they're like most of the characters come back from the first couple books, like most of the main ones, and the one sister, I forget her name, like Lucy, I think. They just mention like offhandedly that she got left behind because she got obsessed with like makeup and boys and worldly things and stuff. And everybody else went to heaven and she just like stayed on earth or something. And it was just like, okay.
It's so funny. Like imagine you get up to like the gates of heaven and it's like, nope, sorry. You liked makeup a little too much.
Yeah, it's like vanity. I also like how in the end of that, like the main characters come back and because the characters in the last book are different from the main characters in the first couple books, the ones that everybody knows, like Peter and all those characters. And the other characters, I forget the dude's name, but they're like running through heaven and they see all the Pavinsky children who are the first couple books main characters. And he's like, oh, yo, those famous dudes that are like crazy famous. What are you guys doing here? And then it's like hinted at that they died in like a train crash and that's why they're there. But it never like outright says it. It's super weird. Like they die off screen and it like hints at like, oh yeah, they were just like on a train platform and the train derailed and they died. And so now they're in heaven and that's why they're here already. It's super weird. Like the entire last book is like a coming of days. Like you're watching worlds burning and stuff. It's super weird.
Yeah, I've watched the movies. I have not read the books. I didn't realize the books were that wild.
The books are like actually crazy. They get super weird.
Interesting.
They're good books. The Christian allegories are super strong though.
Mm-hmm. What Christian allegories in my American novel?
I mean, most of the things are like one to one.
British?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, no. They're good books. They've got some real interesting plots and stuff, but yeah, it's anyway. Chapter 35, we jump to Serene talking to her dad, And he's like, wow, you work fast. You're dethroning the king and all this and all that. And Serene's like, well, it isn't as if I intended it. Merciful Domi. She kind of did, though. I mean, she like consciously made all those choices to do that.
I just accidentally did these things that would result in this.
Like, I'm pretty sure that was her intention from the beginning.
Yeah.
They kind of had a little talk. And they're like, oh, how in Domi's name could a monstrosity like the Mysteries come from religion as innocent as Jesker? And they're like, oh, the same way Shu Darath and Shu Korath could come from a little Genonese man. And they're like, oh, such a shame, blah, blah, blah. They just keep kind of yakking. And I know her dad is just not very smart, not gonna lie. Like,
yeah, she makes a joke about him being on a diet because she's eating.
Yeah, it's a little weird. And then they kind of talk about Iodon, and I like how it's just offhandedly, her dad like laughs and he's like, tell me about Iodon. How did Domi's name did he get a rope? And you're like, what? What do you mean? And then they explain that like, oh, he was in jail, obviously, because of the Jesker mystery stuff. And then apparently Lord Eondel got him a rope, and he committed suicide, which is, I like how that's just an offhand comment. Oh, how did he get a rope? But, I mean, it makes sense. Like, as they mentioned, you don't have to force abdication, and I guess it restores some sort of dignity to, like, the family, more or less. And apparently Duke Telri will probably take the throne, but Serene doesn't want that because Telri's just, like, awful. He's the guy who's rolling with the Gjorn and stuff and just wants money. And they're trying to prevent a civil war now.
Yeah. Which, I mean, to be fair, it is kind of reasonable that, like, he would want to be, like, that's how it would work out. The guy who wants a lot of money, considering that the king is decided by who has the most money. Like,
yeah, which it's just an awful system.
Really bad. Good thing we don't have anything like that in real life. It's a good thing we don't have, like a terrible, like, economic system that makes people want to get as much money as possible.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
The top 1% control everything. Yeah. That would never happen in real life. Mm-hmm. This is simply a work of fiction.
Indeed.
Yeah, and it's interesting because they don't really have a lot of, like, armies or anything. So a civil war would be weird because there's, like, barely any actual soldiers because they were just so used to, like, Elantrians protecting everyone. I mean, yeah, you don't really need an army or anything when you have, like, immortal pseudo gods just living in the middle of your place. Like, you wouldn't really need standard weapons and all that. And so they're trying to get Royale crowned instead because he's the only one with enough money, and they don't really have enough time to, like, get rid of the stupid, like, monetary title system because people are used to that. So they're gonna have to roll with it for now. And they're talking about lunch and butter and, yeah, just making jokes about, like, his dad's weight and stuff.
But I love it how it's like it teases you at the end of the previous chapter where it's like, oh, he was like, he's cured of his thing, and it's like, whoa, that's crazy. I wonder why. And it's like, now it's time for the side plot. Now it's time for them to talk about food.
Yeah, now it's time for them. Serene's talks about food a lot, like, for some reason. And yeah, a bunch of people come in, like Lukel and Keen and stuff, and they start talking about Ahan and Keen, all those people. Yeah, Eondel, Ahan, and Keen, bunch of other random people. They start talking about, like, oh, here's how many men we have. We can pull, like, these many people. Apparently the Elantris City Guard just, like, picked up and left to Telri's mansion. So that's not good because there's, like, 600 people. So even if they're not, like, great soldiers, you still, like, the numbers are just not great. And they're talking about, like, oh, well, we can't do it this way. We can't do it this way. This is an issue. This is an issue. And Serene's like, I think I might have a way. Or not Serene, Shuden. Shuden is smart, apparently. And he proposes that Serene, who has a lot of money because, you know, she was married to the prince and he died, in quotation marks, she's in Elantris now, could marry Royale and they would be, like, doubly rich. And that would give them like a political marriage that would give them the throne, which I feel like that's a pretty good plan. Like,
yeah, I mean, she is like currently the richest or very close to it, something like that.
Yeah, because I mean, she has everything that like the prince had, and I think when the king died, that would all default to the prince, or I guess the queen's still alive.
Yeah, so everything should just default to her.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know why she just doesn't automatically get the role.
Because she's a woman.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I forgot.
So they need Royale to, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so she marries Royale, and then she just kills him.
Yeah.
And then she's in charge.
Yeah,
She does like a Weekend at Bernie's kind of thing, where he's very clearly dead, but she's like pretending like he's still alive so she can still be in charge.
yeah, for the second time in only 2 months, Serene gets to be engaged again. So fun. Really speed running the Bachelor thing here. Or Bachelorette, I guess. And yeah, they're walking back and they're having like a little talk about Royale, and I like how Serene's instant thought is just like, there will need to be hairs. And you're like, yo, what kind of a freak are you, Serene? What are you talking about? Why is that the first thing you go to? And Royale's like, bro, I'm an old man. Like, calm down. And eventually I like how he's just like, yeah, eventually I'm going to die. And you can pick like your third husband. That'll be so fun. You have fun with that. But I'm like old, bro.
I love collecting husbands.
And she's like, geez, third husband, that's crazy. Which, yeah, that's kind of crazy. And he has like a whole spiel about like, you're just an excellent judge of character, except your own. You may see yourself as an old maid, but you are young and beautiful. Don't let the misfortune in your past mean you have to give up on your future.
Yeah, like being tall and smart, the two worst things that any woman can be.
And he does like his whole sage advice, old man thing. And she's like, oh, these words are encouraging. Maybe there is still hope. I love when old men are like, yo, here's some common sense. And she's like, oh, this is great. I never thought about that before. And then...
You still have way more husbands to marry after your husbands die. Think of all the things left to do.
I like how he brings up, like, he's not like, oh, and then I'm going to die and then you can find another husband. He's like, I'm going to die and you can pick a third husband. Like, he makes sure, he's like, yeah, you got to remember, third husband. Two of them died. Third husband. Third time's the charm. Two of them died, but like...
You gotta see how many you can get, all right? You gotta go for the record.
Yeah. And then they're like driving along and there's a crowd and stuff. So they're like, what in the name of Domi is that? And Serene sees Hrathen, the Oro farmer. He's walking through the crowd and they're like, no, he's left Elantris. His face is unspotted, flesh-colored, merciful Domi. He's been healed. Then we get to chapter 36 with my goat, Hrathen. And yeah, chapter 36, when Dawn signaled the 5th day of Hrathen's exile, he knew he had made a mistake. He would die in Elantris. And then instantly, he didn't die in Elantris. Where is it? Yeah, I like how it mentions he got increasingly delirious as the 5th day passed. At times he saw Dilaf laughing over him. And it's like, dang, he's really having nightmares about this guy.
Oh no, my worst nightmare.
Dilaf,
no!
And then he starts like seeing faces and stuff and starts getting like memories of Dakor. The dark hollow cubicles in the monastery surrounded him. Screams echoed through the black stone hallways, cries of bestial agony mixed with solemn chanting. Some real cult stuff happening right here. Chanting that it has strange power to it. Boy Hrathen knelt obediently, waiting. Crouched in a cubicle no larger than a closet, sweat streaming past terrified eyes, knowing they would eventually come for him. It's a real horror moment. And then he drops this banger line where he's like, Rathbor Monastery trained assassins, Feldor Monastery trained spies, Dakor Monastery trained demons. dun dun dun. It's a real aura farming moment. Like, it sounds like something on like Left 4 Dead when they would have on like the loading screen.
Yeah.
It sounds like something on there. Yeah, and then he like his delirium finally breaks, and he like wakes up and he's like, "What the heck? What is happening?" And then suddenly he's like, "Oh, wait, the potion wore off. I'm like normal now." And then he starts banging on the gates and stuff, and the guards open up the door, or the guard captain that he was like bribing earlier, and he's like, "What the heck? Gracious told me it's true. You've been healed." And Hrathen's like, "Lord Jaddeth has heard my pleas, Captain." And the captain's like, "Come through, I guess." Like, this is, bro did not know what to do with that. Like, imagine you spend your entire career for like 10 years or something.
You used to have a singular job at the square factory, and then a triangle.
And yeah, literally the square factory.
Guess we're doing triangles now. All right.
And I like how Hrathen gets up and he like goes to the thing, and then he turns and looks back, and he's like, "Enjoy your damnation, my friends." And then the gate like slams shut, and it's like, okay, bro, like really hates them, I guess. And then he realizes, like, yeah, he's talking to the captain, and he's like, "Oh, where are the rest of your guys?" And they're like, "We're protecting the new king." And Hrathen's like, "What the heck? I missed like a ton of stuff. Idom's dead, new king." And then they start walking. And then he has a real Jesus moment where he's walking through the crowd, and people are like staring at him all worshipful and like reaching out to touch his Elantrian robe. It really is just like a Jesus moment.
Mm-hmm. We got regular Jesus, we got lion Jesus, we got racist Jesus.
Yeah,
we got all.
We got all of them in one book. It's sick. And yeah, he's like, "People of Arlon, know ye this day who is master." And he gives like his whole aura farming speech. And he's like, "Lord Jada tested me, and as I relied on him, he blessed me. I have been healed." And everyone's like, "Whoa, let's go." And then he goes inside, and he has like an interesting thing where he kind of goes over the fact that it's not really a miracle because it's like a potion. So it's not an actual, like, Jaddeth didn't heal him or anything, which I think this is really interesting because a lot of like churches and stuff do that kind of thing where they'll do like fake miracles, and they'll be like, "Oh, it's the Savior and the power of Christ or whatever." Yeah, Hrathen's reasoning is like, "Oh, well, most miracles are either natural or the result of human intervention, but Jaddeth's behind like human intervention stuff, so yeah, God help."
Like it sounds excuse to be like, I could do whatever I want, and God made me, so like.
Which, I mean, that's literally what every church ever does. So, and I think it's interesting that that's called out too, because that's not something you'd expect like a religious person writing a book to like use for their main religious character who's going on a journey of like finding their faith to
abuse their religion.
Yeah.
Like,
and like not even like unknowingly, like consciously making those, and then making that connection, being like,
purposely like abusing it and lying in order to get something out of it. Like, interesting. Like
Hrathen he raised praises to God for giving him the capacity to think of the plan, the means to execute it, and the climate to make it succeed. And the captain's arrival is definitely all like divine will. And Jaddeth might not have cursed Hrathen, but he had certainly been behind the plan's success. And yeah, it's just a weird thing for like that to be called out so directly and like actually addressed. And I really like that that's like a thought process that he has, and something that gets like, it actually goes over that. And then, Hrathen like says a prayer real quick, and then he turns around and Dilaf stood behind them, and Hrathen's like, "Oh, brother, it's this guy again."
"Oh, brother, this guy stinks."
And Dilaf immediately like falls to his knees, and he's like, "My Raoden." And Hrathen's like, "Whoa, this dude's being kind of weird." And he's like, "Yes, Artith, what's up?" And Dilaf's like, "Oh, I doubted you. I thought Lord Jaddeth had cursed you, by now I see your faith is much stronger than I realized. He just starts doing tricks on it and glazing. And Hrathen's like, oh, don't worry. All men question. It must have been difficult for you guys. And he's like, oh, we should have had more faith. And Hrathen's like, learn from these events in Ardith. You may go.
He's like, yes, have more faith. Like me.
Like me. Concocting my master plan. And then he tells Dilaf to get out. And he's like, oh, you may go. And as Dilaf gets up, Hrathen like looks at him and he's like, oh, this dude looks more like confused than anything else. Okay, well, he's not like actually cool with me now. This dude's still like crazy. I definitely need to get rid of him at some point. Yeah, and then he like suddenly runs over to his Sion trunk to check and make sure it's still there. And the box is all like dented and scratched and stuff. And Hrathen's like, oh, shoot, did somebody break it? All the levers are bent, the dials are stuck. And then he eventually gets it open, the Sion floats out, and it says that 3 remaining vials of potion lay next to it. 2 had cracked, so he has 1 left. Wonder what he's going to do with that. Boom, boom, boom. He takes it again. Let's go. Time for round 2.
Yeah, he just keeps doing the same thing. Everyone's just keep going, whoa, whoa, each time.
After like
equally surprised.
After like the 3rd time, he gets kicked in. The entrance are like, really? You're just doing this to like stunt on us, bro. Like, come on, you don't have to rub it in. And then Hrathen's like, the Sion floats out and he's like, oh, did anyone open this box since I last spoke to you? And the Sion's like, no, my lord. And he's like, good. And he closes it on and slams it down on the Sion, locks her in her cage again. It's a real like, okay, buddy, moment. Okay, buddy, Ryan.
No, you don't understand. He's aura farming.
He is aura farming. He's like, did anybody speak to you? No, nobody spoke to me. And he's like, then go back in your box. And slams it shut. And then he falls asleep, just collapses to the floor. Must be that wine.
Yeah, the wine from like 3 days ago, was it?
Yeah, it just sat in his tummy and then took a bit to work, you know?
Yeah, you didn't eat it.
Those Elantrian wines, they take a bit to get going.
Yeah, it takes, a couple days and then it hits you all at once. It's like...
Yeah.
It's really good for poisoning people because they will just suddenly die from alcohol poisoning multiple days later.
And then he wakes up and he summons a buff priest. He's like, oh, this tall man with a powerful Fjordell build, muscles that managed to bulge through his red robes. And the dude's name is Dothjin, which that's an aura farming name right there. And he's like, oh, you were trained in Rathbor Monastery. Were you not Arteth? And he's like, I was, my lord. And Hrathen's like, good. And then he holds up the last vial of potions. And he's like, I have need of your special skills. And I like how the priest doesn't even ask, like, yo, what is that? Or like, they're like, what does it do? He's just like, oh, who's it for? Let's go kill someone.
I want you to drink this potion that kills you. All right.
If you have to. And yeah, the priest is like, oh, who do I give this to? And Hrathen smiled. And then the chapter ends.
With just like the rock. Like,
yeah,
like,
you know,
stare.
He hit him with the smirk. And chapter 37, it struck while Raoden was studying. Raoden immediately starts just... My immediate thought when I read that was that he like got the pee all of a sudden.
I gotta pee right now, guys.
He's studying. Where's the bathroom?
Where is it?
Yeah, he gets chapter 37. He just immediately gets hit with the door cooking through his body, and he has his seizure. And he felt the pain, a sharp torment that dropped upon him suddenly and vengefully. It was like a million tiny insects. Okay, buddy. And then soon he felt as if he had no body. The pain was his body. Bro, he's just aura farming. There's no reason he's got to be doing all that. Then he felt it. It stood like an enormous slick surface without crack or pocket in the back of his mind. It pressed demandingly, pounding the pain into every nerve in his body. It was vast. It made men, mountains, and worlds seem paltry. It was not evil or even sentient. It was immobile, frozen by its own intense pressure. It wanted to go anywhere to find any release, but there was no outlet. This is literally just me when I have to pee really, really badly.
God, you don't understand. I know you were shot, but I really gotta pee.
I really gotta pee, bro.
I gotta pee so bad.
And then Galadon and Karada pull up and they're like, Raoden, can you hear me? Can you hear me? They start shaking him and stuff. And then like, oh, he's dead. And then they toss him into the pool. And he's like, no. Just kidding. That didn't happen. He could have just like saved himself from trouble and told them ahead of time so they like knew what to look for. But instead they find him and they're like, oh, what's going on? What's happening? Why are you on the floor? And he's like, guys, I'm all right. And they help him sit up. And they're like, yo, what's happening? And he was like, it was the pain.
Oh, it was like a phantom. Like a phantom pain. Like
and my Metal Gear was solid. Metal Gear Solid reference right there.
Yeah, you literally just said Metal Gear.
I know. That's what the joke was. And yeah, he's like, oh, the pain, it was too much for me. I'm all right now, I retreated. And Galadon's like, bro, what? What are you talking about, Sewell? He's like, the pain. You know the pain? Like capital P, the pain? Like you never heard about the pain, bro?
You know, the pain that we all have.
The pain. The Cusco's pain.
Pain River Cusco.
Yeah, it's a real Emperor's New Groove moment. And then Galadon's like, bro, you're stupid. The pain doesn't come in waves. Bro, you're dumb. That's not how it works, bro. And Raoden's like, bro, that's how it works for me. And he's like, you're stupid, bro. That can't be.
You were stupid.
When you fall to the pain,
wrong.
you snap and your mind is gone. That's the way it is. This is so funny to me.
Dude,
it's
you're
just
not in
like
pain. You're just stupid.
this is like the kind of stuff that like when you show up to the doctor and you're like, oh, I have these symptoms. They're like, nah, I don't think you do. And you're like,
that's not
bro,
true.
just give me the medicine. I swear my butthole hurts every time I poop. Nah, I think you're just imagining
No,
it.
it's just how everyone's butthole is. Stupid.
Yeah. This is literally how my doctor was talking to me when I went there about my back. I was like, oh, my back hurts when I do this and I do this. And they're like, have you tried like stretching? And I'm like, yeah, I stretch. And they're like, okay, well, it's not your back. It's probably your abs. And I was like, what do you mean it's not my back? My back's the part that hurts.
You know, your rear abs. The abs on your back.
Yeah. It just kind of gives that vibe. And then Karada is like, my prince, you were glowing. Why did she start calling him my prince all of a sudden? But apparently Raoden was glowing. And Raoden's like, oh, wait, it's like the door is trying to come through me. And then, why me? Okay, buddy. All right.
Yeah, just completely silent for like a long time. They just come.
Come's pretty funny.
And yeah, they kind of are like, oh, it was trying to like escape through me or something. But why me? And I don't know, like the reason they give is just, no, some people are closer to the door than others.
It's because he's a very special boy.
Yeah, like it really is just, I don't know, some people are special. Like it's kind of a weird, there's not really an actual reason for it. Yeah, and then they start talking about how, oh, like the Yorn was healed. Maybe something's happening, something's changing. And Raoden just pulls this literally out of his booty cheeks where he's like, if he really was healed. Like, I don't know why he's skeptical about this. He's no real reason to be skeptical. And he has this whole spiel about like, oh, well, if I was Warren, I wouldn't want like a Dorothy Elantris, bringing shame to my religion. So I'd pull him out and like hide him somewhere, telling everybody he'd been healed. But like, you saw him when he was healed.
Mm-hmm.
So like, what do you think happened?
I mean, because like we know that's like we know what happened, but like they don't know what happened.
They don't
They have
really
absolutely
have
no
a reason to be skeptical.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Raiden's like, oh, well, I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to discourage people's optimism, but, like, I don't think it's real. And, yeah, it's just kind of weird because there's, like, no reason that he should be doubting it or anything, even if, yeah, it was fake. But, and then he's like, okay, well, they need to work and improve their own lives, so, like, I'm not going to be like, yo, that wasn't real. And then he goes back to his studies, and that's the end of chapter 37.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen in these next couple chapters?
Um,
What do you think is going to happen with the individual characters? We got Serene's Marion Royale kick Telri out subplot. We got Raoden's figuring out the door.
I'm pretty sure Raoden's gonna, like, they're gonna do the thing where whoever the aura farming guy's name was drinks the potion, and they're gonna do the exact same thing a second time.
Oh,
And then
not Hrathen.
Yeah, like-
did you mean Hrathen?
no, like Daggerath, whatever his name was.
Oh,
Because he gives him the potion that turns you dead for
well, because he was like, oh, who's this for? And then Hrathen smiled. So you think that means like, oh, he's going to give it to him?
Mhm.
Not like give it to someone else?
I mean, maybe, but like, no, I was kind of
Okay.
thinking he was gonna have like him do it.
Oh, it's like a second example, pretty much.
I don't know. Maybe he was it to someone else actually.
I mean, I guess it would be more believable if you gave it to like another member and then you sent them in, then they come out healed and everyone's like, oh, okay, it's not just like the church leader guy. It's happening to normal people too. So that could be where it's going, yeah.
But I'm not exactly sure where it's gonna go. I mean, there's definitely gonna be our special boy, the prince. It's definitely gonna end up being the special guy, and then he's gonna become redeemed or whatever.
Do you think he'll like, if you think the other guy's gonna take the potion and go into Elantris, do you think that Raoden will like approach him or something, since apparently he doesn't believe that it's real, or like try and do something about it?
I don't know. He's probably just gonna like break his kneecaps.
Yeah.
Walks up, breaks his kneecaps.
Partway through the book, Hrathen just gets absolutely like annihilated, and then we just don't hear
the pain. Because
the pain. Capital P. The pain.
The pain for Raoden.
Raiden's pain.
Anyway, so he's just gonna like break his kneecaps and maybe throw him in the river or something.
Sounds about right.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think Serene's gonna get up to with her little marriage subplot and Telri being a little
They're probably
poopy
gonna
pants?
get married, and then like the guy immediately dies of like a heart attack right afterwards. And she's like, "Oh, again."
She's like,
"Oh,
really?
My husband's dead. The people are gonna be like, "Dang, your husband just keeps dying. Maybe it's her fault." Then she goes, "Maybe it is my fault." And then she talks to her dad, and her dad goes, "What? No." And then she goes, "Right, it's not my fault."
Yeah.
And then she's all better.
And she has to have her chat with like, she doesn't have an old dude to chat with anymore. She chats with Shootin, and he's like, "Oh, you gotta recognize that. You gotta look to the future, not to that." And all of a sudden, she's like, "Oh, that's so right."
Yeah, and then as she's talking to him, he's like doing the yoga, and then it's like
Yeah.
describing like really in detail this like muscular form and how he's so sweaty.
Yeah.
And how all the women are swooning over him.
Every time Shootin's on screen, it's just aura farming and doing like yoga.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not our girl. She's different.
Yeah.
Like even though she is attracted to him, she's different.
She's different. She's not the same.
She's like a normal amount of attracted to him.
Yeah, whatever that means.
Anyway. But
Yeah, interesting. Okay.
yeah, it sure is a book. It sure is going.
Yeah, so we'll see you guys next week. Peace out.